Alec J. Ross, The Raging 2020s, The Fight Between Countries, Companies, and People for a New Social Contract. Dive into The Raging 2020s by Alec J. Ross and explore the fragile state of social contracts in today's world, woven with challenges of inequality, exploitative corporations, and governments struggling to adapt to rapid technological advancements. This book elucidates the importance of maintaining a harmonious balance between governments, businesses, and individuals in order to secure a prosperous society. Journey through the fundamental problems faced by modern societies, and learn the significance of transitioning from shareholder capitalism to a more inclusive stakeholder capitalism, where everyone benefits.
The power of social contracts. Social contracts are the glue that holds societies together. They determine the rights and duties of citizens, governments, and corporations. However, social contracts are always being tested and renegotiated as societies evolve. The United States and other developed nations find themselves in a new Engels pause, characterized by government deregulation and increasing inequality. The social contract needs to be mended to achieve equilibrium and enable individual and societal growth. Insulin prices and the flawed system. In the early 1920s, scientists discovered insulin, a life-saving drug, for $3, and it was considered inappropriate to patent medical innovations. Today, the insulin market is controlled by 3 companies that prioritize profit over anything else, causing insulin prices to be sky-high. Milton Friedman, an economist from the mid-20th century, advanced a theory known as shareholder capitalism, where a company's sole responsibility is to maximize profit for its shareholders. This approach has been disastrous, as seen with insulin prices. The alternative is stakeholder capitalism, which prioritizes anyone with a stake in the company's success. One good example of a company practicing stakeholder capitalism is Patagonia, a privately owned company that considers the environment a major stakeholder in its business. Companies need to be held accountable to stakeholders to have values beyond just making profits. Hurricane Maria and the decline of governments. In 2017, Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico and demonstrated the inadequate response of the U.S. government in coordinating and distributing resources. This is due to the decline in government's power and the growth of shareholder capitalism, where companies possess more power than nations. While markets are effective, they cannot solve problems where there is no profit. Public access to services such as healthcare and transportation can only be ensured by the government. Corporate lobbying poses a significant threat to the government's strength. Candidates become beholden to their donors, leading the government to prioritize business interests over the public. It is crucial to address corporate lobbying to help the government regain its power. The power of unions. In 1936, the GM strike in Flint, Michigan demonstrated the strength of unions in negotiating for worker benefits. In their golden age, unions played a crucial role in shaping American history through securing important benefits like higher wages, insurance, leave, and pensions. However, union membership has declined sharply, leading to a race to the bottom as unions become more focused on maintaining the status quo rather than fighting for workers' demands. The Nordic countries provide a great model for organizing labor, where workers gain benefits across the board through union federations, business associations, and local unions negotiating with specific companies. The key takeaway is that employees need to have a greater say in the workplace, and developing new ways to organize labor is essential for everyone to thrive. Tax avoidance schemes. Multinational corporations engage in highly complex tax avoidance schemes that enable them to pay much less in taxes than they should. This is done through maneuvers like transfer pricing and profit shifting to tax havens. For instance, Google used the double Irish with a Dutch sandwich scheme to shift most of its global earnings to Bermuda, where the corporate tax rate is 0%. This cost the European tax authorities an estimated $3.7 billion in 2016 alone. Such tax avoidance schemes deny the government crucial revenue that could fund social safety nets and other benefits. Reforming the global tax system. Multinational corporations have long taken advantage of tax loopholes such as the double Irish with a Dutch sandwich. While some countries have investigated and collected back taxes from companies like Google, the problem persists on a global scale. Countries like Ireland indirectly support tax avoidance to bolster their economies, while companies naturally choose the jurisdiction that offers the most tax breaks. The key message of the book is the need for coordinated global tax system reform. One potential solution is unitary taxation with formulary apportionment, which treats multinational corporations as single entities and taxes them based on total profit, preventing the race to the bottom. This would make it more difficult for companies to exploit loopholes and game the system, leading to fairer and more effective taxation. Digital power, a call for government and business collaboration. The United States government is falling behind in technological advancements, particularly in cyber warfare. With private sectors leading the digital tool development, militaries worldwide face significant threats. A collaboration between businesses and the government is, therefore, necessary. Governments need to harness new technologies like AI to identify specific individuals, predict civil uprisings, and identify potential violent extremists. The book presents China as an example of a country investing heavily in surveillance and social control to develop AI and become a world power. Closed or open social contracts. The United States' failure to adapt its social contract for the 21st century has resulted in growing inequality and the rise of populism, making it no longer a model society. The book explores two models that have emerged in its place: the closed model, exemplified by China, where governments discourage dissent and prioritize stability and growth over individual freedom, and the open model, exemplified by Nordic countries, which offers strong social safety nets alongside personal freedoms. The book argues that countries must choose between these models, especially those in the developing world, as they stand at a crossroads between closed and open social contracts.
In conclusion, The Raging 2020s examines the strains put on current social contracts, which have led to a struggle for power and influence between governments, corporations, and citizens. As societies grapple with increasing inequalities and digital dominance, countries must choose whether to follow a closed, authoritarian model or an open, liberal system such as the Nordic model. It is crucial for governments and businesses to collaborate in order to update social contracts for the modern age, and create a more balanced, inclusive, and sustainable world for future generations.